If you love history but hate dry textbooks, you're in the right place. We're about to embark on a journey through one of the most fascinating and controversial episodes in American history. Let's dive into the US-Mexico land grab. This story is filled with ambition, conflict, and a reshaping of the continent that still impacts us today. All right, folks, picture this. It's the mid-1800s. The United States is a young nation brimming with ambition and a belief in manifest destiny, the idea that it was America's divine right to expand across the continent. The US is eyeing some prime real estate to the south. Enter the Mexican-American War. This conflict was driven by the desire to acquire new territories and fulfill that manifest destiny. In 1846, the US declares war on Mexico. The reasons were complex, involving border disputes and the annexation of Texas, but the underlying motive was clear: expansion. Why? Well, they had their sights set on expanding westward. The lure of new lands, resources, and opportunities was irresistible to many Americans. Now, the fighting was brutal and the stakes were high. Both sides suffered significant casualties and the war dragged on for nearly 2 years. By 1848, the US had captured Mexico City. This was a decisive moment in the conflict, signaling the end was near. That led to the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. This treaty was a turning point, marking the end of the war and the beginning of a new era for both nations. This treaty, it handed over a whopping 55% of Mexico's territory to the US. This included vast and resource-rich lands that would become integral to America's growth. We're talking about present-day California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. These areas are now some of the most iconic and economically significant regions in the United States. Here's the kicker: Mexico was paid $15 million. At the time, this seemed like a substantial sum, but in reality, it was a fraction of the land's true value. Sounds like a lot, right? But for such a massive chunk of land, it was a bargain basement deal. The US got an incredible deal, while Mexico lost a significant portion of its territory. This transaction reshaped the map of North America. The newly acquired territories would go on to play crucial roles in America's development, from the gold rush in California to the establishment of major cities and industries. So why does this matter? Understanding this history helps us grasp the roots of many contemporary issues, including immigration, cultural exchange, and political tensions between the US and Mexico. This land grab reshaped the continent and left a deep scar in US-Mexico relations. The legacy of this conflict is still felt today, influencing everything from border policies to cultural identities. Today, it's a complex legacy of conflict, culture, and controversy. The borderlands are a vibrant mix of cultures, but also a flashpoint for political debates and social issues. And there you have it, the wild tale of how the US acquired half of Mexico. It's a story of ambition, conflict, and the enduring impact of historical events. History is not always pretty, but it's always fascinating. By understanding these events, we can better appreciate the complexities of our world today. Stay curious, folks. Thanks for joining us on this historical journey. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.